Patrick B. McGuigan, capital B OK, and I'm interviewing Oklahoma House Speaker Kris Steele. Speaker Steele, this week, undoubtedly one of the most significant events was the passage by the House of the amended version of Justice Reinvestment, a major criminal justice reform initiative. You've been a leader on that issue for several years and guided this one to passage. Talk about its significance. My readers are probably familiar with the details, and I'll summarize it in the story. So just talk about why this is a significant moment in our history.
Well, thank you for the question. I do think it's a significant moment. In fact, I think it's a game changer for the state of Oklahoma in the way that we handle our criminal justice system. I think that it's going to give us an opportunity to begin to make decisions based on facts and evidence rather than emotions and anecdotes. And so, more than anything, I think we've provided an opportunity to increase public safety by requiring the supervision component for everyone that is released from prison. Also, I think it's given us an opportunity to relax or release some pressure on our current prison population by the effective use of intermediate revocation facilities for low-risk nonviolent offenders, as well as provide necessary resources to local law enforcement entities to really focus on prevention and strategies within their jurisdictions on preventing crimes from ever being committed in the first place.
Looking at the remaining time in the session, so far a proposal for workers' comp reform, additional worker comp reform, allowing the so-called opt-out provision, ran into troubles in the House, even though you were advocating for it. Is there still a chance that that will make a comeback, or do you think it's done for this year?
I am a big advocate for additional workers' compensation reform. I think this opt-out plan is a viable option. It ought to be considered. To be honest, Pat, I think that at this point in the session, it's more likely than not that the issue will be studied over the course of the interim and become a centerpiece for next year's legislative session. That being said, there are some vehicles that are still alive related to the workers' comp system that could be utilized should a plan come together to give us an opportunity to continue to work on that issue.
It was kind of a quiet week at the Capitol, but my observation is that sometimes a quiet week can be deceptive, and there's actually things going on. Tell us a little bit about the state of play, if you will, in the discussions on tax reform and any other major issues where there was at least conversation going on this week.
Sure, and we're at the point in the session where we have about 3 weeks left before we're constitutionally required to adjourn for this session. And so we're focusing primarily on conference committees, and that's where the bulk of our policy discussions will take place. Outside of that, we're continually, almost daily now, talking about our budget negotiations and our income tax reform reduction proposals. I think that we're right where we need to be in relation to all of those issues, and I suspect that the budget and the income tax reform proposal will all come together soon, probably in the next 2 weeks. And we'll be able to run those proposals through the legislative process. We're gathering input from our caucus members as we speak in order to put together a balanced budget, a conservative budget, but one that protects core services of government while reducing the overall tax burden on Oklahomans. We're very excited about the prospects of being successful with these particular goals.
Always a dangerous question. Will you get done early?
No, sir, I don't think so. Not at this point. We would love to get done early, but we don't want to shortchange the work that's in front of us. And given the magnitude and the amount of work that we have left, I think we're going to stay here until the last Friday in May.
Thank you, Speaker Kris Steele.